What's up YouTube? Today we're going to do an install video on cold air intakes, and the vehicle we're going to be using is a 2014 Ford Fusion Titanium. This particular model has the 2-liter EcoBoost, and so what we're going to do is we're going to remove the factory airbox and we are going to install an aftermarket intake system, and this particular one is going to be from K&N. So I'll go through step by step everything you have to do, and hopefully we'll get a good tutorial on how to do this on your own vehicle. If you happen to have a 2013 or 2014 Titanium Fusion, you'll know how to do it. First thing I want to do is get a quick audio clip of how the factory box sounds. These cars are very, very well insulated, and the factory really likes to keep the noise down as far as the wastegate or the blow-off valve or even the sound of the turbo building boost. It's really, really difficult to hear in factory form. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the hood right now. I'm going to turn the car on, give it a few revs, give you an idea of what it sounds like, and when we're all finished, you'll find out what it sounds like before and after. So I'll do it again then. Alright, so let's have a listen. So as you can hear a little bit of the surge valve in factory form. We are inside of a garage, so it is probably quite amplified. Outside it wouldn't be probably nearly as prominent as it was in here, but we're going to go ahead and get started. And yeah, I'm going to figure out exactly what I need, and I'll come back to you and let you know. Before we get started, I want to quickly go over what comes in the box. So right here is the box it comes in. It's not very big, not very heavy. The one for my Jeep was actually a lot bigger, same with the one for the Corvette. So I don't think we're replacing too much here. Should make life a little bit easier. All in all, I don't see this taking more than half hour, 45 minutes, to be honest. So long as you sort of know your way around the toolbox. Alright. The longest packing paper I've ever seen. Obviously we got a installation guide, which obviously I've never done anything to this vehicle. I've only had it about 3 weeks, so for sure I'm going to read that just to be safe. Here we have the charge piping that would lead up to the up pipe for the turbo. Here's where the mass airflow is going to go. This is probably just a mounting point here. We'll find out. Like I said, I've never taken it apart. Here is the housing for the intake itself. You can see that there. Obviously, here's the filter inside. Again, as I said, there's the actual filter itself. We'll leave that to the side for now. We have a rubber gasket that will seal up to the hood. Even though the hood is lined in a sort of fabric, this is still going to help. And lastly, we have some C-clamps, some mounting brackets, hardware, and coupling, which goes at the end of the charge pipe into the up pipe for the turbo. So that's everything that comes in the box. Now I'm going to figure out what I need and we'll get started. Okay, the first thing it's going to want you to do is to disconnect the negative battery terminal. Now, as far as it's concerned, positive, negative, car doesn't really care. I disconnected the positive terminal, so we'll leave it like that for now. Second, wants you to remove the engine cover from the engine. There it is. That was easy. Oh, it's even noise insulated. Even noise insulated the engine cover so you don't get the little valve ticking sounds. Wow. That's, I guess that's good. It's a little excessive for me, but set that down there. Next, they want you to disconnect the crankcase vent hose from the factory intake tube by depressing the squared locking tab. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this here. So here we are, got you right over the engine bay now. Next thing it wants us to do is disconnect the crankcase sensor, which is right here. And that's it. And that is purely just to vent. Assuming it's an oil return, to be perfectly honest. That's what I'm thinking. I've never had a turbo car. I've had supercharged cars, built NA cars, never a turbo car. Crankcase vent hose to the factory intake tube with square locking tab. Loosen the hose clamp that secures the intake tube to the turbo inlet, which is right here. So this is going to require a flathead screwdriver. I got my little kit over here, grab myself a flathead. Right there. Got myself a flathead. Let's loosen this. That's pretty loose. Set this back on. What's next on the list? Loosen and remove the bolt that secures the intake tube to the engine, which is right here. And from my eye, that looks to be about 13mm socket. Let's give that a try. Here it is. 13. Let's see if we were right on the first guess. Oh, like a boss. Okay. $13mm socket. Oh, I need a deep. I guess the right one, but I grabbed the wrong side. 13mm deep. There we go. Okay. Now it says loosen. I'm assuming we should remove it, but it doesn't say that. Loosen and remove. Yes. We do it by hand now? Yes, we can. So make sure you save all your hardware. I don't really think I need to stress that to you guys, but make sure you save all of them. What I'm doing is I'm just placing it all into the engine cover. This way, there's no way I can forget where I put them or lose them. Disconnect the temperature sensor, electronic connect. Note, 2 different types of temperature sensors are used. See step 6A. Okay. That's for intake air temperature. Some vehicles may be equipped with a twist locked style temperature. Okay, well let's see. Some vehicles, maybe not this one. Twist lock. Okay, that was it. Well, the connector is disconnected. I'm pretty sure I need this. I don't want to break it. No, I think you pull it, you clip it. Let me see. This must be a 2013 model in the book because that looks different here. Oh, no, there it is. There it is, twist lock. Okay, so twisting comes out. Now I'm gonna try. I'm gonna keep this somewhere else just so it doesn't get dirty or damaged or nothing. I'm assuming it's sensitive. Let's set that right there. Okay, that should be fine there. Next, step 7. Unhook the evap tube from the clip on the factory intake, which is back here. Now this. There it is. Okay, yeah, that is not even attached to this. Again, different model. Release the 2 upper airbox retaining clips and then remove the complete intake assembly. And it also recommends do not discard the factory intake, which obviously I'm not going to do. I'm going to keep it. Okay, you got right here 2 clips, one here, one here. Pull that, and this. I think that's all. I say 2 clips, but I should look first. This is connected in one more spot, I think. Is this the connection? Nope. Oh yeah, that's it. Probably gonna have to cut this clip here. Didn't have to cut it. I did drop a screwdriver down my car, but it didn't touch anything, so that's good. Alright, that's done. Then we can move this up and out of the way. It says lift the factory airbox up and off. So that's it. Factory intake is off. And now we can remove the rest of the stuff. And my wife just came home. Back to work. Okay, so now that that's done, what's next? Take a look. Pull out the shindig paper. Unlock the evap tube. Remove the blah blah blah. Install the coupling hose onto factory turbo intake tube and secure with the provided clamp. So, once this, which I'll put there, and once the provided clamp, there's 2 clamps, one of which is going to be what I need. So we'll take that there, take this, obviously that's what I need. I'm going to put this here. Oh, upside down. There we go. And now I need my screwdriver. You can also use a socket for this. I'm just going to use a screwdriver. Looks to be about a 10 mil. Get that nice and snug where it needs to be. That's good there. You don't have to make it super tight, but you know, make it secure. That's not going anywhere. So that is done. Next, attach tube bracket onto engine with provided hardware. Do not completely tighten at this time. Sure? I will not completely tighten it this time. Remove the socket wrench. Put that down. Now, where does it want me to do this? Probably here. Is that it? Yeah, right there. That's where that's gonna go. That's hot. Ouch. All right, so let's see. Use a tube bracket. Back to our little bag here. So this is the bracket. Also, everything in the manual has a part number, which is corresponded on the actual part. Oh, my neighbor's home. I'll come right back, actually. I'm gonna probably show them what's going on. Okay, so now that that's done, what's next? Take a look. Pull out the shindig paper. Unlock the evap tube, remove the blah blah blah. Install the coupling hose onto factory turbo intake tube and secure with the provided clamp. So, once this, which I'll put there, and once the provided clamp, there's 2 clamps, one of which is going to be what I need. So we'll take that there, take this, obviously that's what I need. I'm going to put this here. Oh, upside down. There we go. And now I need my screwdriver. You can also use a socket for this. I'm just going to use a screwdriver. Looks to be about a 10 mil. Get that nice and snug where it needs to be. That's good there. You don't have to make it super tight, but you know, make it secure. That's not going anywhere. So that is done. Next, attach tube bracket onto engine with provided hardware. Do not completely tighten at this time. Sure? I will not completely tighten at this time. Remove the socket wrench. Put that down. Now, where does it want me to do this? Probably here. Is that it? Yeah, right there. That's where that's gonna go. That's hot. Ouch. All right, so let's see. Use a tube bracket. Back to our little bag here. So this is the bracket. Also, everything in the manual has a part number, which is corresponded on the actual part. Oh, my neighbor's home. I'll come right back, actually. I'm going to probably show them what's going on. Okay, we're back. So like I said, each piece that you need has a corresponding part number. It's super easy to figure out. There's pictures and stuff too. You're not going to have trouble. But basically, this is going to go right here on a bit of an angle. We're going to make it loose right now so that we can adjust it to where it needs to be. We got install the coupling hose attached to the bracket engine with provided hardware. I'm assuming we're not reusing the I think it might be this. If that goes in there. Yep. Now obviously it doesn't want us to tighten it down because it does need to rotate once we attach the hose. So I'm just going to finger tighten it right now. Next, remove the temperature sensor from the factory airbox and remove the O-ring from the sensor. Note, the style sensor without the bolt will need to be rotated counterclockwise and then pulled out of the airbox. Install the provided grommet into the K&N intake, which is this. There's the provided grommet. And here's the K&N intake. So I'm going to install this right into that. So another fun thing about having a 2014 model is the fact that the inlet temperature sensor is not secured with a bolt like this one has here. In that case, like it says, the spot for the sensor will have to be drilled out to a 3/4 inch inner diameter. No wonder this was so hard to put in there. So what I'm going to have to do is remove a material until I have 3/4 inch inner diameter, and then put it all back together, and then I'll be able to put that sensor back in there. So now I'm going to have to go get my power drill and drill bits. Now I just measured the inner diameter of this here, which if you look, this hole right here, where the inlet temperature sensor goes, it already is inner diameter of 3/4 of an inch. But the issue here is that with this grommet, it reduces it to almost 1/2 inch. Now the sensor fits in there just fine into this grommet, but it's a little bit loose inside this hole. So what I'm going to do is going to remove some material from the surface there, possibly increase it to 7/8, maybe almost an inch, put this back in and see where that gets me. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and lie and tell you that this took me a few minutes, but I'll be perfectly honest, this took me probably ½ hour. Like I said, what happened was, this is for a 2013 or 2014. The 2013 mounts the air intake temperature sensor using hardware. It just sets in, clips around it, mounts. On the 2014, which is what this vehicle is, it actually goes in, twists, and locks, and because of that, the sensor itself has a larger outer diameter due to the material that locks it, and this has a smaller inner diameter, the tube itself. So what I had to do was drill out the tube to 3/4 inch inner diameter, which is what it originally was, but this grommet was very thick. I don't know if that's just a manufacturing process. I ended up being shit locking, getting a very thick one, but that's what that was. This was very thick, so I had to drill it out a little bit further. I don't have a T-angle sort of screw. I had a 1/4 inch drill, so I ended up drilling around the edges, filing, drilling, filing until finally it fit, and it's in there pretty good now. So that's done. Now to move on to the next step. Okay, so that's finished, and you can see it there. It's about as far as it wants to go. I don't want to damage it. It's in pretty much all the way in there. You can't really see, but yeah, that's that. Once we do that, wants us to remove this factory airbox right down here. First I'm going to take out the filter, which isn't really dirty, but it's a shitty paper filter. So we'll put that over with the rest of the stuff that we're going to put in the box and put away because we need to keep it. Set this up over here. Now it says install the edge trim into the heat shield, or onto the heat shield as shown. Okay, when you're done, it'll look something like this. It doesn't look fantastic, that's for damn sure, but that's how they want you to do it. So you can probably trim off the excess material and make it a little bit nicer looking. Maybe cut and then put, which actually I think I might do. So I'd bring it all around here, cut, put here, cut. for now I'm going to leave it like this, but I will clean it up actually. So that's what we do next. Then it wants you to install the K9 intake tube into the hose and onto the tube mounting bracket again with the heat shield and secure with the provided hardware. So we're going to do this. It's going to go this way. We need this one. Here. Now we need a flathead screwdriver again. That's done. We'll just connect this like that. Clips on. That's done. Now we're going to mount the bolt here. Let's see if I can zoom in there. Right here. Hard to see, but that is going to be where we mount the screw to the inlet. Grab a washer. Right in there. That's finger tight for now, and I'll secure it. Once I get the cone filter on, that's done, that's done, that's done. Install the cone filter. Here's the filter itself. Battery on my camera is getting kind of low, so I gotta hurry this up. I'll finagle with this for a little bit and then I'll come back so I don't kill my battery. Okay, all you basically had left to do was attach the cone filter, connect the airflow or the mass air sensor, reconnect the crankcase vent, tighten down all the hardware, reconnect the battery of course, which I did. Now all you got left to do is put the engine cover back on. Which is connected everywhere. I think that's all of them. Yep. And that's that. And there you have it. That is how you install a K&N filter or any sort of aftermarket air intake on a 2014 Ford EcoBoost. Okay, so now it's done being installed. Everything is finished. You can see here as you've watched the entire video, obviously. I'm gonna quickly do this before my battery dies, but you've heard it when it was stock. Now you're gonna hear it after. Again, bone stock. All I've done to this car is an intake. I've yet to do the tune, yet to do the downpipe, none of that stuff. This is bone stock, just the intake. All right. So there you go. That is the installation of the K&N air intake system onto a 2014 Ford Fusion with the 2-liter EcoBoost. Again, big difference in sound. Hopefully I get a decent difference in economy. Just my luck. The camera dies at the very end of the video. But I will summarize this. Like I said, bone stock, you get a lot of carbon buildup on the tailpipes. So that's an indication that the car runs pretty rich. It could use better air for the air-fuel mixture. Putting a proper intake is one of the ways, as well as getting a tune done is another really good way to optimize the air-fuel mixture, which this car will be getting sooner or later. But there you have it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope this helps you out a lot. Thanks for watching.